Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Forgotten Stream. Tonight I am live casting a Trackmania match between Crazy Machine Chicks and Airven. They're competing in Division 1 of United League Reborn 4 in Trackmania United Forever. Today I am probably going to be alone because MixD is playing his own match, and in case anyone is not aware, Airven stands for Air plus Reven, and Air stands for either Avengers Irresistibles Racers or Abruti Infiniment Rapide, which could be translated from French into Infinitely Rapid Fools. We have 4 maps for tonight. Environments are Bay, Coast, Desert and Rally. And let's see how things are going to develop. So far the opponents of CMC haven't joined the server yet. And I've only seen the qualies for 2 maps, so I cannot tell you a great deal about the CMC lineup. So we have Tona joining the server, and the other Airven players are following suit. This is going to be an interesting match because obviously the Division 1 this season is stacked to the brim. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, every team has absolutely outstanding drivers. Some of the best there. And we also have... what do we have? I think 4 of Giant Cup winners competing in ULR4, and I believe all of them are going to be playing in this match because they are Zooz, Sander, Lolomax and Tona. The only other Giant Cup winner that isn't competing here is Marok, but he is currently inactive. Yes, so provided that both teams were training properly, this is going to be a match to watch. Right now we are on Coast. The map is called the Scottish Method. It is built by Snag. It is a tricky technical track with a lot of places where you can lose grip and slide out, but as I haven't trained the track myself, I can't really provide too much insight. Looks like we have almost everyone from the Airven side, bar Cemko, their main coast specialist, who has got a world record and who is basically a coast god at the moment. So he should be joining swiftly, I assume. We have Silver 101 joining, I presume for streaming purposes. And I cannot even make any real predictions about the match. Let's see, Coast. The CMC drivers trained, but who do they have to go up against? Cemko, probably Clement. And then, I don't know, Tona. Tona is a Coast Pro. I don't know. I would bet Airven. And this is just such a formidable lineup. Bay? I wouldn't say Airven look particularly impressive. So I would probably favor CMC on Bay. I'm not quite sure. Because once again, this Division 1 is stacked. There's no other word for it. On Rally, well, I would hope that CMC would win, especially after beating TNT last time out. But Airven have Sib or Cybermix, who is probably the best rally driver at the moment. And they have Lolomax, and they have Oxyde, who used to be a rally god in his days, and I think he still has it, he just doesn't train a lot. Yeah, that would be the rally lineup. For desert, that's a tricky one. The CMCs don't look comfortable on the map. They don't really like it. So even though we do have Neko, an absolute beast on desert, I don't know, Airven have Lolomax, and Lolomax is also a monster when it comes to desert and in Trackmania regional environments in general. And once again, he's a Giant Cup winner, so it's not like he's incapable of tackling any environments in this game. Lolomax, Oxyde, who had some strong daddy records, and I'm sure they can find another competent driver somewhere in their team. And what did I not mention? Bay, Coast, Desert, Rally. Yeah, I think I went through all of the maps. So we are warming up on Coast, 3 rounds in. Clement drives a daddy top 5 in rounds. 1:04.15, a strong time indeed. And they are asking for 2 more warm-up rounds. CMC will have Roa, Zooz and Neko driving Coast. It is a bit more tricky with the Airven side. I would presume Clement, Tona and Cemko, but I wouldn't be surprised wouldn't be surprised to see Maleke driving. Definitely not expecting Lolomax, because he's allergic to coast environment. And what can we say other than that? Currently, well, before round 3, CMC were leading the standings in Division 1, having dropped 1 map to TNT and 2 maps to TFS. As for Airven, they were bottom last with only a single point scored. I believe it was only 1. But I might be wrong there. But they definitely were bottom last. So chat, what are your expectations? They still aren't ready. Come on guys, it is 10 past 11 PM. I should be starting soon, I want to go to bed today. Which is not going to happen, because the match is definitely going to take longer than an hour. What were the standings like? I'm trying to find them. Yeah, they definitely were posted somewhere. Yes, indeed. CMC were leading with 7 maps, 1 and 3 lost. And Airven were bottom last with 3 maps scored and 7 lost. But that can all change today. So basically, if Airven win every map tonight, they tie CMC with 7 points. And they're finally ready. Not a long way to go. There's a shout out to Spezzo. And the lights are out and away we go. And as I expected, we have Cemko, Clement and Tona against Neko, Roa and Zooz. Zooz took the initiative in the first corner, but he was quickly passed by 2 Airven drivers, Clem and Cemko. And actually Cemko is falling back down the order. So it is Clem in the lead. The pack is tight, only 0.4 separating the first and the last positions. Currently it is looking like a round win for Airven, but as I say that, Tona slides out, Neko makes a mistake, Roa makes a mistake, Zooz is starting to fight Clem for the lead, followed by Cemko, and he definitely has to prevail if he wants to win the round. This is a tricky turn, and there are no mistakes, but Clement wins the round. And with that, takes the round win for his team. Close round, 11-10. It's a round win nonetheless. First blood to Airven. Off we go, once again. Ooh, Clement made a mistake early on. Cemko slid sideways into the checkpoint. That dropped him down the order, but I am not prepared to say that he is out of the round, given his speed. And Tona made a mistake now. So we have all 3 CMC drivers out in front, going neck and neck. Well, Zooz dropped back a little bit, and now Neko made a mistake. They should just go safe, and this is going to be a round in the bag for CMC. Let's hope that they can keep it up. They're still going 1, 2 and 3, followed by Cemko, but even if he catches up and overtakes every single one of CMC drivers, that is not going to matter at all. You cannot win when you are followed by 3 opponents. He made a desperate attempt to overtake into the last corner. Unsuccessful because he slid out and crashed, and that is a comfortable 1, 2, 3 for CMC. Hey Juice VFX, nice to see that my job is appreciated. Round 3, Clement in the lead, but he slides and drops back. I saw a CMC driver sliding. That must have been Neko, because he's currently in last position. Cemko and Zooz are fighting at the front, followed by Tona and Roa, who is watching from a little distance. This is so close between the leaders. Ooh, Zooz makes a mistake. That is going to cost a lot, probably a whole round. Because Roa also made a mistake and dropped even further back. He's over a second behind, and as I say that, he slides and hits the checkpoint sideways. So Cemko is allowed to take the round win, followed by Tona, and that is another round win for Airven. This is actually closer than I expected, because the Airven drivers do make mistakes, which, oops, as I say that, in the very first turn, Clement slides out. He's probably out of the round, but let's not count him out just yet. Tona struggling a bit in the tunnel, dropping down to 5th behind Cemko, who was chasing the CMC drivers but made a mistake. The CMC train is going steadily forwards. Tona is trying to catch up. Has caught up with Zooz. That doesn't mean anything yet. Ooh, he made an excellent attempt there. Made a wallbang work. Overtook Zooz and almost caught up with Roa and Neko. But even if he wins the round, which he doesn't, it won't matter much. 1-2 for CMC, followed by Tona and Zooz. 2 for 2. Are we going to play this sort of tennis mode until we get into the tennis mode? That would be interesting. Nobody sliding out in the first turn, but at the first checkpoint, Neko loses grip and goes sideways. Zooz and Roa are out in front with Clement. Zooz drifted a little bit, drove back down to 4th, right in between Cemko and Tona. It is oh so tight at the front, and Clement made a mistake, dropped back down to 5th, or I mean 4th. But considering that there is still just 0.3 separating the first driver and the 5th one, anything can change in a blink. Cemko sliding a bit there. Zooz would need to make up some ground if he wants to win the round. And Roa makes a mistake at the end. Gifts the top 2 positions to Airven drivers, and they take it 3 for 2. Yes, so far it has been alternating between the teams. Round 6. Neko makes a mistake at the first turn. Roa is behind the Airven drivers, Zooz in the lead. They are fighting fiercely over that lead, but they cannot quite manage it so far. And Zooz makes a mistake and crashes, which puts 3 Airven drivers into the lead, and unless they are going to throw this round away, they should be winning it comfortably. Let's see how far back the CMCs are. They're about 0.6, 0.7 behind, but I just do not see them winning the round, and Roa makes another mistake. And the last turn, tricky though it is, doesn't prove to be much of an obstacle for the French drivers. Well, I say French drivers, Cemko is actually Turkish. Yes, they take it 1-2-3, and the lead is now more than 1 point. 4-2. So this time round, nobody making a mistake in the first turn, but in the second, Tona goes a bit too ambitious, drops right down. Cemko slides and crashes in the tunnel. Neko in the lead with Clement, followed by Zooz and Roa. Clement just inching ahead. Let's see if he's going to be able to negotiate these downhills safely. He is. He's still ahead. Neko is desperately trying to overtake him, and he is going to succeed because Clement made a mistake. He started sliding but corrected it, and Zooz and Clement both crash. Which puts Neko in the lead, followed by Roa and Cemko. Cemko is going to overtake Roa right at the very end, but with Neko winning and Zooz getting to the finish line, this doesn't matter. CMC take the round win, 4-3 for Airven. Still all to play for. Round 8, Zooz and Clement made a mistake in the first turn. Neko in the lead alongside Roa and Cemko. This is so insanely close between the three of them. The positions are changing nearly every turn. Yes, Cemko was in the lead, now he's marginally behind, and Tona is coming right back into the game with a good line through that GP section. He is battling Roa and doesn't go for a wall bang this time round, and Roa and Tona both crash. But they don't lose too much time. Neko prevails in the fight against Cemko, and about 2 seconds slower, Roa and Zooz finish 3rd and 4th, and they tie up the score once again, 4-4. And Clement accidentally retires, so this round is not going to count. And now the round counter is going to confuse me every time, unless I don't forget to subtract a number. Round 9, although it says round 10. Everyone's safely through turn 1 and through turn 2, and we're into the tunnel. And everyone is close together, but I saw somebody sliding. I think that was Zooz. Nope. Must have been Clement. He's way too far back. Neko was leading, but he connected with that wall and drove back. So we have Cemko, Roa and Zooz fighting for supremacy. Cemko, very good line there through that GP section. Finds himself up ahead, but Roa and Zooz are not going to give up, but they would need to overtake Cemko if they want to take the round, because Neko is last and Zooz made a mistake and Roa made a mistake, and it is going to be 1-2-3 for Airven. Things are changing at a speed of light. Rafovsky, at this rate, it might as well go into tennis mode. Round 10. Clement once again with a drift at the T1. Everyone else negotiated it just fine. Neko in the lead, followed by Cemko, Zooz and Tona. Neko a bit too greedy, just as Zooz, and they both crashed and dropped back, allowing Clement to catch up, and Roa, way too wide on that downhill, going onto the grass, losing a lot of time. Clement crashes at the tunnel entrance. Neko is trying to do something to salvage the round. He is just ahead of Tona. Let's see if he can keep it up. Cemko is way ahead, and Neko makes a mistake. And it is another 1-2 for Airven drivers. The Turkish Coast Superstar with a 1:04.52. 6-4. Airven hit map point. So CMC cannot afford to make any more mistakes. They have to concentrate and get at least 2 more rounds to get into tennis mode. Clement with a mistake at the tunnel. Zooz a bit too sloppy, but he's still in the mix. Uphill right-hander, nobody losing grip there. And Tona crashed at the checkpoint. Zooz was once again sloppy, allowed Clement to go through. And he is setting after Roa, who was following Cemko and Neko made another mistake, and Cemko with a mistake as well. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. So Cemko is actually back in the lead, followed by Roa, Neko and Clement. Anything can change, but it looks like Airven, but it just isn't. 3 drivers separated by 1/100th of a second. But CMC do manage to get the round win. It is so insanely close. 6-5. One more round for CMC to make it into tennis mode. Neko and Clem with small mistakes, but they were able to correct those and stay in the round. Cemko streaking away into the distance, followed by Tona, the 3 CMC drivers and Clem. Neko another mistake, but it is still all possible. But CMC drivers are just making too many little mistakes, and Clement is probably out of the round. Zooz trying to do something about Tona, makes a mistake, drops back, so it is 1-2 for Airven, followed by Neko and Roa, and Neko with another mistake. Airven would have to throw the round away not to win it, and they don't, and they finish 1-2. Cemko with a 1:04.01, best time of the match so far, and it is an incredibly fast one. That was an exciting battle, but Airven take it 7-5. This is absolutely incredible. But to be perfectly honest, I expected a more confident Airven. Either way, GG's. They did make it. It looks like we are going to play Bay next. The map is called KGB Found My Lolly Hentai Stash, a map by Black Q and Wormy. So, I'm not entirely sure what the lineup is for CMC. I presume Sander, Neko and JumperJack. It's tough to tell who is going to be driving for Airven. They have Sib, Clem, Lolo, Maleke and Galba driving in warm-up. And based on what I see, I would say CMC are the stronger team, but anything can happen here. Because this is a crashy map. So far, first round of warm-up, the best time we have is 1:11. That is basically Division 3 level time. A good time for Division 3. But this isn't D1 level times that I'm expecting. The TNT TFS match was nuclear, and the Daddy Top 1 in rounds was driven in the match by Passy. Mogi one map down so far, it was Coast, and Airven took it 7-5. And Neko is rebooting his router because he had some internet issues. Let's wait for him to come. Oh, I see more Airven drivers joining. That probably means that the CMC3 Airven 3 match is over. I wonder if I'm going to be joined by MixD. Let's see if I can find him. Okay, message MixD. Hopefully he's going to come. Yeah, there were some drifts on the coast map from both sides. Well, the teams are warming up. Can we talk about the map? And boy oh boy, is there something to talk about. Damn, where was the start? Jesus. Where is the start? Yeah, there's the start. So, right from the start we have a downhill, which is basically blind when you have 5 other cars driving around you. And then we have this anti-dementia uphill section where you have to brake before the checkpoint not to fly out of the map. And, oh well. And then you have to take a sharp left and either brake or... what is going on? Take a perfect line into the tunnel. Then in the tunnel you need to go a bit to the left in order to make this chicane jump, which is very tight, gets it a bit wrong, and you are doing some impressive stunts. Then we go into another long winding turn, which one cannot possibly memorize. Once again, not dementia friendly. And we go into another tight chicane jump. This part is of no particular interest. There will be some interesting changes of positions here at the top of the hill, because this is an awkward bounce and people go on two wheels and stuff, and your line is important. Then this roof drop, and there's a change of banking, which is also very awkward. And there could be some interesting battles at the finish. Yeah, there are lots of interesting spots. A lot of things can happen. I am definitely expecting plenty of crashes on this map. Cybermix probably expecting some good thrashing. I don't know, let's see. But with Sander driving, you can always be assured you're in for some spectacle. Sib was unable to find the stream for this match on the pawn site mentioned by Cybermix. And it looks like the teams have warmed up. And it looks like Zooz is going to be driving. Interesting. I wasn't really expecting that. 15 more seconds to go until we find out. But yeah, I would bet a lot of money on CMC. Oh, and we have a good finish camera actually. Now that is something to take note of. The lights are out and away we go. We have Neko, Zooz and Sander against Clement, Lolomax and Maleke. I believe we had Zooz with a mistake and Maleke as well, and Clement sliding out, and we find Neko and Sander in the lead, followed by I think Lolomax and Maleke and Lolomax, I would say. And well, I wouldn't say it is particularly interesting watching the Airven drivers in this round, so let's switch to Neko, who is chasing Sander, who is going steadily. I mean, not quite passy pace, but pretty good. He's still first, but Neko with a better line at that uphill jump. And he actually manages to overcome Sander on that roof section as well. 109 for Neko, 110 for Sander. CMC take first blood. And with 111 for Lolomax and 116s, that does look like a Division 3 performance. Let's hope they're going to do better in the next rounds. Round 2, Maleke with a very good start. Can he keep it up? Sander, good lines there. Fights his way into the lead, but Maleke is holding his own. Not for long, because Sander, Clement and Neko are right there. People take different lines through this. Oh damn it, sorry, that was my firewall. Through that downward spiraling platform section, and we actually have Clement in the lead. And this is interesting. Sander is fighting, and Clement slid there a bit, dropped some time, unable to recover it. 1, 3 and 5 for CMC. And they take another round, but this definitely looks a lot more competitive. Third round. Lolomax with the best start, but Sander doing his best to try and get into the lead. Ooh, he goes onto the 2 wheels and actually crashes, so he will be out of this one. Let's see if Zooz and Neko are going to pick up the slack. So far it doesn't look like it, because Clement and Maleke... Ooh, what was that for Clem and Maleke didn't quite manage to negotiate that chicane. He was stopped dead. And Lolomax is almost overtaken by Sander, and now he is. Now he definitely is, so it is 1, 2, 3 for CMC, just like that. And I hope they can keep it all the way to the finish. Which they probably will, because... Ooh, no, not like that. Zooz flying out of the map. Still 1, 2 for CMC. And a round win. But this was a very sloppy round from everyone, even from Sander. But he did manage to recover from that early error. 3-0, CMC leading. Clement with an interesting line there, going onto 2 wheels momentarily. Neko out in front from Clement, Zooz and Sander. Zooz with a slide drops right down the order. Neko, Clement, Sand fighting at the front. Neko seems... Ooh, that would have been Clem with a crash at the tunnel jump. So this, well, let's call it a helix. You can go wide, which is a bit safer for the helix itself, and it is easier to negotiate the checkpoint, which is at the bottom of it. But then you have a lot more speed going into that diagonal chicane jump, so you have to slow down more, and if you risk the helix itself, Lolomax makes a huge mistake, and a Sander with a 109 and Neko with a 2nd position assures another round win. So yeah, if you do take that helix a bit tighter, you can gain some time on that particular section, but then it is harder to squeeze yourself through the checkpoint. But if you do manage to do it, you also have less speed for the jump, so it is easier to get through that chicane. And round 5 we have Clement was trying some interesting things, didn't quite work out, but he didn't crash, and nobody crashed at this chicane in this round. So we have Zooz and Sander with completely different lines, but as you can see, Sander gains a lot more speed and comes right back, and we have CMC's 1, 2, 3, followed by Lolomax, who is watching from some distance. Clement was trying to get back into the round but crashed, and this just does look like a thrashing. Lolomax was attempting to overtake Zooz, but he is crashing once again, and Neko wins the round with a 109. No 108 so far. 1, 2, 3 for CMC. 5-0. Morgi says Airven are back to drifting. Well, sort of. Round 6. Nobody drifting so far. Well, Lolo clipping the edge of the road a little bit. Sander is out in front, chased by Clement, Zooz and Neko. Maleke doing his best. Let's see the helix again. Sander with the widest line. Neko went right out of the map, and he says nice pad. Probably some input issues. Sander still first, followed by Clement. Well, what's happening with Neko? Well, he's driving, so that is not all too bad. Clem slides on that awkward section, lets Zooz overtake him, and he drifts in this turn as well, and it is 1-2 for CMC, and it is map point, and Sander about a second slower than the world record. That is the fastest time of the match so far. Seventh and potentially last round. No drifts so far. Let's hope to see none of that. I think Lolomax made a mistake. Let's see, it's another checkpoint. Clem is actually leading. No, Lolomax is actually in the round, but Clement is certainly not. And neither is Maleke after those 2 tunnel crashes. Well, Maleke crashed after the tunnel, you would say. Either way, oh, Neko with a slide right before the loop. He might need a respawn after that. Zooz is in first, followed by Sander, who is attacking and gets himself ahead of Zooz. They're going 1 and 2, which, if they keep it, will ensure the round win. They do. 110 for Sander, 111 for Zooz, and it is a map win for CMC. 7-0. Yes, Cookin Coast was won by Airven 7-5. Sander, best man of the match, with 39 points scored, followed by Neko and Zooz. And we go into rally. For rally we have a map called Tekken 2, by Lolita. Oh yes, somebody would need to summon Rubiano, who I assume is going to drive the map. What is this sort of card, Zooz? Yes, Tekken 2 by Lolita. It is a very technical track. What he himself calls fun tech, I would call it hardcore tech. There's not a moment to breathe on this map. You are constantly doing something, and there's tons of time to be lost or gained throughout the map. And this bridge right after the last tunnel will probably see some people crashing into that chain, and that is so painful. Sib already crashed into it in the first round. Let's see how many people are going to crash into the chain of doom in the actual match. Maybe, just maybe, we can set up a camera for it. I set this camera. So yeah, this is the last tunnel. That's the bridge. And this is the chain of doom. I wonder how many rounds are going to end in tears for people who are going to crash there. Hopefully none. But we can expect many things from this part. So it looks like we are going to have Lolomax, Oxyde and Cybermix for Airven. I can't quite tell who is going to drive for CMC. Sansa and Rubiana for sure, and either Zooz or JJ. Sansa has got a top 1 in rounds daddy. We know that the world record, well, at least the apparent world record, belongs to Cybermix. That is 110.3 driven in time attack. Let's see if people are going to be doing any 110s in the match. I heard that Black Q from TFS was doing 110s on a regular basis. But that was not enough, because TFS went up against TNT, who had 3 competent drivers, not quite able to drive 110s, but they were able to assure 2, 3 and 4. And Haru with a 110 in warm-up. Now that is a statement. CMC's offering 4 versus 4. Airven. Don't quite want that. But yeah, this is obviously the CMC struggle with so many people evenly matched. Good evening, Neko. Some confident 111s from Sib and Oxyde. And the warm-up is finally done. So map 3 of tonight's rally. And I hope we're in for a thriller. Definitely should be, with the level these guys have. Yeah, Neko, this is the third map, Bay and Coast. Went for CMC and Airven respectively, and we are live. I'm on Sib's cam. He's got a comfortable, confident start ahead of Daddy top 1 already, followed by Oxyde, Sands and Arrow. Let's see if CMCs are going to make a dent in Airven armor. So far the wheel drivers are holding their own. Santa, even though he touched a castle wall, he didn't lose a lot of time. He isn't quite able to catch Oxyde. This tunnel, so tricky. Nobody hitting the chain. We're into the last turn, which doesn't provide a lot of challenge. And it is a 1-2 for Airven, and they take first blood. So, as we are playing rally, we need to talk about controllers. We have Airven with Sib and Oxyde using wheels, Lolomax on the joystick. In CMC, Sands and JumperJack are on joysticks, and Arrow is using a gamepad. Round 2, Oxyde in the lead, followed by Sanda and Arrow. Sanda is trying, once again, the wheels. Just so good at rally when it comes to driving rounds. Arrow holding his own in second, Sib actually in third, which is a surprising thing to observe. Arrow is actually trying to gain the lead, but he's not quite able to. And Sib makes a mistake at the tunnel. And this is interesting. Arrow is oh so close, but not quite able to get the first position. But it is still enough for a round win for CMC. This is some close racing. Sib is complaining of lags and he didn't even bother starting this round. What is going on, Sib? Yes, cooking. Arrow is on gamepad. Round 3. Sander, Sib and Oxyde with a fantastic start. Sander not quite as good in the following section. Oxyde sliding before this dirt part. We have Sib in the lead, followed by Arrow, JJ and Sander. Once again, this is a Titanic scrap. Can you catch the wheel drivers? It doesn't look likely. But Sib is currently level with Daddy top 1 pace. Arrow 0.3 behind. 5th place, Oxyde 1 second behind. Chain of Doom doesn't claim anyone this round. It doesn't look like anyone is going to catch Sib, and he might... No, he doesn't quite get there, but it is a 1:10.6, an insane time to drive in the match. 3 1:11s for CMCs and 1:11 for Oxyde 2. That is 2 for 1 for CMC. Round 4. Oxyde with a brilliant start, followed by Sib, Sander and Arrow. Arrow with a good line manages to catch right back up to the 2 leaders. Now Oxyde is going for that top 1. Sander is fighting Sib fiercely and Oxyde is forced into a mistake. He goes wide onto that off-road section and loses a lot of time. He's actually lost. Arrow is in first from Sib, from Sander and JJ, but Sander crashed and Lolomax slid away. Let's see if Sib is going to catch Arrow. Nope. He didn't quite have the best line through that tunnel, but he did have the best line through the last turn. He wins the round with a 1:10.92, which is a great time. And he clutches the round for his team, 2 for 2. And this is excellent racing. Round 5. The blind downhill. The Airven drivers are ahead. Now CMC's trying to get in the mix. Oxyde going level with world record pace. Well, I mean, with 30 top 1 pace. Arrow made a mistake, dropped back. Oxyde still in the lead, still level with top 1 from Sander, from Sib, from JumperJack. The CMC drivers have to do something in order to win this round. And that would be probably forcing Airven drivers into mistakes. But they... Ooh, JumperJack crashes at the tunnel. This is just not their round. Sander is trying, but he's only good enough for 1:11.16, and Oxyde, another man to lower the bar and go 1:10. So it looks like the wheel does offer some advantage over joysticks. 3-2, Airven leading, round 6. Great start from Sib. Will CMC drivers catch up? Sib is in first from Sander and JumperJack. Sander not quite able to make it work this time round, but we have Sib followed by 3 CMC drivers and Lolomax, and Oxyde must have crashed because he's 2 seconds in arrears. Let's see what Lolo is going to do, and he would need to overtake at least 2 CMC drivers or wait for their mistakes, and those can definitely come on this map. So far CMC drivers were doing a great job, but Arrow crashed. Will he manage to salvage 5th? Yes, he will. The score is tied once again, 3 for 3. I hope we're going to see tennis mode. Into another round. Arrow with a mistake at the start. Lolo a bit sloppy, clipping some grass. Sib and Oxyde out in front from Sander, and JJ slightly slower than that. So we have 2 drivers at the same time going for Daddy top 1 pace. And this is absolutely marvelous to witness. Sander just not able to close in on those 2 players. Oxyde makes a mistake. Sib still onto that top 1, bouncing over the grass. Ooh, Sib now dropping time to that top 1. Can Sander overtake him into the last turn? No, he can't. That is a double 110 in a single round. But still, the Airven drivers prevail. This is so incredibly tight, and it is fast. Round 8. Sib once again after that daddy top 1. So is Oxyde. Arrow and Sander doing their best to prevent the French drivers from winning the round. Arrow is right in the mix. Oxyde a bit wide, drops down and now slides a bit too much. Sander overtakes him and JJ momentarily too, but he fights back. He's into 3rd, now bouncing over the grass. He didn't quite get the best of it, and Sib actually dropping time in that tunnel, which allows Arrow to take the lead, and Sander will finish 3rd and JJ 5th, and CMC will tie up the score once again. 4-4. How much more exciting can it get? Round 9. Oxyde, big mistake there. Sib is currently once again with the blue time, not anymore. Slightly slower, Sander setting right after him, followed by Arrow, JJ and Lolomax. Sander not quite the best line there, drops time, allows Arrow to overtake him, and JJ must have crashed because he is currently last. So unless JJ manages to get into 5th or Sip gives the round win to Sander or Arrow, this is a round for Airven. Nobody clipping the chain of doom. 1:11:11 for Sib, followed by Sander and Arrow, JJ last. 11:10, round goes the way of Airven. This is incredible. 10th round. No mistakes at the start. Oxyde, the fastest of all, but now Sib gets into the lead from Arrow and Sander. Oxyde was somewhere right there with them. Rubiano chasing Sib, who is currently level with top 1 time. And actually goes faster than that by a 10th. The off-road section, JJ and Lolo fighting for the last position. For the 5th position. Sib goes even faster. Is he going for that top 1? Is he just driving to win the round? Arrow doing his best, but he is not able to close in on Cybermix, who will get another 110. But with Oxyde in 4th and Lolomax in last, this is 5-5. Basically, if Cybermix were to drive the tunnel a little bit better, a little bit faster, he would be able to dethrone Sander in rounds dirty. 11th round. No mistakes so far. As I say that, Sander drops onto the grass, but he still manages to stick to 2nd. We have Oxyde from Sander, from Sip, from Arrow. Oxyde a bit too greedy, goes over the grass, drops time. So we have Sander in 1st from the 2-wheel drivers, and Arrow and JJ. Arrow, not the best line there, drops some time. Let's switch to Oxyde. Sib, ooh, he is out of the round. Oxyde and Sander made mistakes there, which allowed Arrow to catch up, and Oxyde with another mistake. Will that be the first round win for Sander? Yes, it will be, even though he will finish with the same time as Oxyde. Well, Sander and Oxyde. Nothing to choose between them, and Arrow just 100th behind them. And it is 6-5, map point for CMC, and Sib crashes by going too much over the grass. Oxyde, however, doesn't want to relinquish his lead. Arrow is trying to overtake him, nothing doing so far. Sander actually in last position. So it he's not all done yet. What happened to Sander? Yeah, he's definitely out. So on Arrow, he would have to overtake Oxyde, and it is not going to happen because he made a mistake himself. Oxyde, not too good at the tunnel exit, drops a lot of time, he still wins the round. But somehow Santa manages to overtake Lolomax. Jesus Christ, and that is a rally going the way of CMC 7-5. Absolutely incredible. I just did not expect that. Goodness me, what a match. I'm lost for words. So we have 3 people doing 110s. Arrow with a 111 dead. Oh my goodness. I am so happy to have witnessed it with my very own eyes. Multiple 110s, 111 dead. Some very low 111s. Yes, it was absolutely fantastic. There was no tennis mode. Well, Gafowski, not only for TNT matches, because CMC did go into tennis mode on Rally against TNT, and they won. The T stands for tennis mode. Too nervous tennis mode. That would be some team name. Or maybe we can actually call it Too Nervous for Tennis mode, but then again, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, so it doesn't quite work like that. Arrow with a shout out to all the rally pad drivers. Yeah, actually, this is remarkable. Arrow's performance was right up there with the rest, and he's using a gamepad, and Zooz with the joystick didn't even qualify. Sander with a 108 in a warm-up on desert. Ah, my god. I'm still buzzing after that incredible rally. So, for dessert we have desert tonight. Schlaufen der Zukunft by TM Jonas. If I pronounced that wrong, I beg your pardon, Germans, I don't speak any German. And we already have only 6 drivers driving warm-up, which is unusual these days for me. Lolomax, Oxyde and Tona for Airven, Zooz and Neko for CMC. So let's go through these lineups in details. Lolomax, an absolute legend, a desert pro. Back in the day, when I thought desert, I thought Lolomax and Marok. Those were definitely the iconic drivers. Their battles were something to behold. There's obviously Oxyde, Sander with another 108 in the warm-up. What's going on? Oxyde. Well, he's definitely a strong all-rounder, especially in CMO environments, and desert being one of those. He is a driver to watch out for, and there's obviously Tona. Tona, 2 times Giant Cup winner, a legend of the game. Obviously an all-rounder, you can't win a GC without being one. So, apparently capable of handling any environment. Cooking. I believe Arrow is using DX Tweak. On CMC side we have Sander, obviously a legend, but he is not quite comfortable with the desert environment. Let's see how he's going to perform after driving another 108 in warm-up. We have Zooz, another legend of the game. I used to consider him one of the best desert drivers. I mean, not quite as good as Lolomax and Marok, but definitely up there with some of the very best. But lately he hasn't been performing to that standard. And finally, on CMC side, there's Neko, a youngster who is a phenomenal talent. And yeah, he isn't quite fond of the map. If he gets going, just watch out for what he's going to do. Well, Garfield, does Neko ever look bad on desert? Although, if we look at ULR4 sometimes he does. But when he's on fire, it's just mesmerizing. Another 108. Sander not quite as fast this round. And hopefully this is the last warm-up round. JJ keen to get it going. Restarts. And we're about to see the last map. So Coast was 7-5 for Airven, Bay was 7-0 for CMC, and Rally was 7-5 for CMC. Are we in for another thriller? The lights are out, away we go. Zooz probably going the best out of them all through the first couple of corners. But now we have Neko leading, just 300 slower than his own Teddy top 1. He is followed by Oxyde, Zooz, Sander and Tona, and Lolomax is for some reason in last position, 2 seconds behind. What is going on? Oxyde with a small mistake and a Tona with a big mistake, and make it a big mistake as well for Oxyde. Neko heading for a 108 at the moment from Sander and Zooz. And it doesn't look like a lot is going to happen. Zooz did crash. What's Neko going to do? 108.41. 1, 2, 3 for CMC. Neko is onto something. Let's see if he's going to be able to best his own performance from previous desert when he scored 961 from JJ scores. Excellent start in this round from Neko. He has 3 Airven drivers on his tail. Ooh, he's going. Oh, he lost a lot of time there. Zooz and Sander doing their best to support Neko. Sander actually dropping to last position. Zooz is still holding on to third. And Tona once again crashing at the very same spot, and Neko crashed, and Zooz making mistakes. That puts Lolomax in the lead. Sander going a bit too ambitious on that grid. Zooz is trying to recover this round, but he will not be able to succeed. Lolomax wins from Zooz from Oxyde, and it is 1 for 1. Yep, rip stats for Neko. He's definitely not going to get any 961s this time round. And Lolomax didn't quite get the transition at the start. Tona with a fantastic start, followed by Oxyde and Sander. They're fighting for that lead, but what happened to Neko? He must have crashed again. Is Sander going to be able to do anything about these two drivers? Tona finally manages not to crash that chicane. Still first. But Oxyde also wants some glory. Sander wants to win the round for his team. Gets himself ahead of Tona momentarily. But that is not going to last. 3 drivers separated by 500th of a second. 3 drivers in 108. And with a 1-2 Airven take the round. Neko should definitely stop crashing. Round 4. Sander with the best start there. But he's got Neko on his tail, which means Sander. Ooh, Neko not quite able to overtake people there. He is in the lead right now. No, he just isn't comfortable with the map. So he regains the lead once again. Now Tona wants a piece of it. And after Neko goes a bit too much on the 2 wheels, drops time. Oh, Oxyde, massive crash. That is basically a CMC round win like this, with Tona, Neko, Sander and Zooz. Tona with a 108. Others a bit slower than that. CMC take the round. Zooz complains that he's feigning gears. But according to Maxi, gears don't exist in TMO environments. What's going on, Zooz? Round 5. Oxyde with a blistering start. But Neko, relentless, pursuing Oxyde, forcing him to make a mistake. So it is a Neko from Zooz, Lolomax and Sander. Can they keep it up? At this point, with two Airven drivers having apparently crashed, CMCs just need to go safe, and this is not safe, Neko. Lolomax is still in third, however. Sander disagrees, and he's actually able to get himself into third for a 1-2-3. As Zooz mentioned, yeah, that was a safe round, Neko. Neko just wasn't doing it safely. 3 for 2 seems he's in the lead. 6th round, Tona a bit wide. Lolomax slightly behind the rest. There's just 0.45 separating the whole pack. Tona with a small slide drops back. Oxyde out in front from Neko, Sander and Zooz, who is overtaken by Lolomax. And Tona is right on Zooz's tail. This is the most interesting round so far. Zooz is in last, and he needs to overtake at least one driver. Ooh, Tona made a mistake there, virtually gifting the round to CMC. Oxyde with a 108, but he is not supported by his teammates. 4-2 CMC leading this. Sorry, needed some water. 7th round. Zooz with a slow start. Tona crashes out in the tunnel. Sander with some interesting lines. He just stands out from the rest. Lolomax crashes out. Zooz fighting Oxyde for first. But actually Neko comes through into the lead, and Sander is following him like there's a magnet inside Neko's car, and Oxyde slid away and dropped a hell lot of time. So it is 1-2-3 for CMC. And unless they're going to crash, it is certainly going to stay that way. Neko finally down into 108, followed by Sander and Zooz. 5-2. CMC are in the lead. Oxyde believes somebody is going full risk. Nope, MixD, this is the last map. Round 8. Oh, Neko. Big mistake there. He's probably out of the round. Oxyde out in front. Zooz, Sander and Lolomax in pursuit. Lolo gets himself ahead of Zooz. Sander desperately trying to overtake Oxyde. Not quite able to do that. Lolomax up into second for a moment. They're battling it hard. Sansa risking trying to get Oxyde, but he is actually going to drop behind Lolomax. And with 1-2, Airven finally take a round for themselves. 5-3 CMC are leading. Neko should focus and do what he does best, and that is to dominate desert. Zooz slides and crashes. So Sansa crashing as well. And with Oxyde and Tona going strong in first and second. This is probably another Airven round, but let's see if Neko has an answer to their pace. He was catching up at some point, but then made a mistake and dropped back. Now Tona made a mistake and allowed Neko to get into second, and Oxyde crashed. He actually went down to last, and with Neko in first, there is a chance. There is a chance for a 11-10, and Sansa is coming for Lolomax's blood. Not quite able to get any. But Neko wins the round. Sansa and Zooz positions 4 and 5. And it is map point for CMC 6-3. Round 10. A mistake from Lolomax at the transition at the start. Neko probably attempting to drive a new Daddy record in rounds mode. And that is how fast he was going. Now he's started dropping time, but I said Lolomax, it must have been Oxyde. And Sansa must have crashed because he's dead last. Whereas Zooz is just behind Lola and Tona. But he would need to make up at least one position to win the round. Because Sansa is just too far behind. Tona and Lolomax don't seem phased. And Zooz just isn't able to get close enough to make them nervous. Neko with an excellent time of 1:08.7, but that will not be sufficient. Airven take this round. 6-4, CMC are leading. Round number 11. No mistakes at the start. As I say that, Zooz makes one. He will be languishing in last. Tona was fighting for the lead but made a mistake. Went a bit too wide, clipped the off-road part. And it is Sansa and Neko, and Lolomax crashes. And Neko must have crashed as well, so it was Oxyde, but he also crashed, and Neko with a big crash like Tona in the first 2 rounds. So it is Sansa in first, over a second ahead of Zooz. He does have Tona in hot pursuit. Tona with some better lines actually overtakes Zooz, but will that be enough? No, it won't be. Zooz actually manages to regain second. Just like that, it is 7-4. CMCs take 3 maps tonight after having dropped Ghost at the start. Well, that was one hell of a match, especially Rally. GG to both teams. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Probably it could be a good idea to hit that bell notification icon to get notified for when I'm going to stream next, because I am planning to stream some more of quality matches. So yeah, thanks to everyone who joined me tonight. Goodbye.